What's up, fight fans? Welcome to Mr. Mustache MMA News. Are we ever going to see Tom Aspinall versus John Jones for the undisputed heavyweight belt? Guys, before we get into it, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. All right, Tom Aspinall just defended his interim championship belt, which to me, it's the undisputed heavyweight belt at this point, especially if John Jones, after the injury, is still holding out for his legacy legends fight with Stipe. That does nothing for the division. It just only does for him, right? Basically, Tom just defended his undisputed belt against Curtis Blades. So congratulations to Tom Aspinall with basically a flawless victory, almost a flawless victory. He got clipped a couple times, but he went out there and put him out in what, a minute and a half. I mean, this guy does not waste any time in the octagon. I mean, if you really go through it, I mean, a minute, 12 seconds, 3.5 minutes, what, 2.5 minutes, minute, 45 seconds. Like, it's just insane. Tom Aspinall, I mean, what he is building up to, because, and what, I saw someone kind of make this notion that his stuff doesn't sell because his fights are so fast. I don't understand how that's a problem because because his fights are not so competitive. That doesn't make sense to me. That just shows how good he is. I feel like his stuff should be selling more, and I think that that's kind of where the casual fans and like the average fan does not truly understand combat sports. I mean, I've watched a Tom Aspinall fight when he fought Sergey. When he knocked Sergey out, I was hanging out with someone and they don't really watch fights. They were upset at the fact that the fight was over so fast. They were just like, "Well, that's dumb. That was a terrible fight." It's like, no, that was a flawless performance. They just don't understand fighting. They're just looking at it from an entertainment standpoint, not from the competitive standpoint or just from the sport standpoint in itself. So it's funny to where his fights being so quick are almost hurting him in a sense in the public's eye, from the casual's eye, because they think, oh, well, the fight's quick, like whatever. It's not that important. No, it just shows how good and how dominant this guy is, and the fact that none of his fights have basically been competitive. He's going out there and running through guys, right? And so the next logical fight is John Jones. And John Jones, obviously, who tore his pec last year, was supposed to fight Stipe. I think it was UFC 295. Obviously, that never happened. And now is still holding out for that fight. And Stipe said that he doesn't want to fight anybody else. He doesn't want to come back unless he's fighting John Jones. So, with John still being the undisputed champ, that's weird that they haven't stripped him yet because he's literally holding up the division. But it really makes me wonder, right? Like, what his true intentions are. If he's going to pull a GSP, if he's going to go out there and fight Stipe, most likely beat Stipe, and just right off in the sunset, and then Tom's like, oh, well, what the fuck? And then, like, the juice just won't be sweet. It just won't be worth it, right? So I'm not, there's part of me that feels like John Jones is going to do that, because it's like, if he beats Tom, like, he's going to have to defend it again. Then there's going to be the Francis Ngannou conversation. So if he goes out there, beats Stipe, let's say he goes out there and then beats Tom, what else is going to happen? What else is there for him? They were talking about that with Dominic Reyes, where he's like, man, if I go out there and beat Dominic Reyes, like, they're just going to have another hungry lion waiting to fight me. And which was true. Like, he had to, like, go away for a few years and go up to a whole nother weight class, gain a bunch of weight, and then just beat Cyril Gane in, like, fucking a minute and a half. It's just like it's hard to find like that motivating factor, because of like, well, what, even if you beat Tom Aspinall, you're still already the GOAT before the Tom Aspinall fight. You go out there and beat Tom, they're still just gonna try and throw another, they're still gonna try and like throw another person at you. There's still gonna be that next guy. So I understand kind of from John Jones's like standpoint, where he's like, okay, well, what is gonna help my legacy if I do at least one more fight the most? Now, right now, I think it would be Tom Aspinall. I think with Stipe, because of how much time has passed and where Stipe is at within his age, I think he's 41, 42 at this point. I just don't think it makes sense. He hasn't fought in such a long time, and I don't think he's gotten any better, like, with his time off. So I think if John Jones, it's funny because everybody was talking about Alex Pereira like a month ago, like as I was myself. Now Tom Aspinall just kind of made things interesting, kind of put himself right into that conversation, which I just think that just a lot of people just weren't talking about Tom before, and just Alex Pereira kind of stole everyone's thunder since he's kind of burst onto the scene. But man, like if we don't get Tom Aspinall for like that's the fight. That's the fight. When John comes back from his injury, I get it though. You want to fight Stipe just because of the name, the heavyweight goat. It makes sense. But I think that as much time has passed, you're still 37. At heavyweight, 37 is still a good age. You're still in your prime at 37 at heavyweight. As to where Stipe is most certainly not, right? And if anybody would have had a chance to beat John, I think that's why John also is so confident in fighting this fight too. He wants that fight because he knows he's probably going to go out there and do what he wants and leave with a W and with that feather in his cap. As to where Tom's more of a risk, but I think that is now kind of where risk reward. And I think if he beats a 31-year-old Tom Aspinall, will be much better for his resume as in beating a former champion in a 42-year-old, 41-year-old Stipe Miocic. So fingers crossed for me, knock on wood. I hope we get this fight eventually, hopefully by the latest next summer, but I hope Tom doesn't wait either. Like I hope he doesn't try and hold out for that fight. I hope just Tom kind of makes it to where fighting him is undeniable. And whether if he has to go out there and fight Alex Pereira, if Alex Pereira goes up to heavyweight, because there's all that talk now too. A lot of interesting things going on at 205 and at heavyweight. But nonetheless, I'm excited. Congratulations to Tom Aspinall. As for Curtis Blaydes, back to the drawing board. He went out there and unfortunately threw his game plan away and did not grapple. Even though I don't even think that really would have made a difference against a guy like Tom. I think Tom was just as good in the wrestling and jiu-jitsu department. I think he would have been able to handle himself on the ground anyways against Curtis. But anyways, congratulations to Tom for defending his undisputed belt. And Curtis, still a great heavyweight, still a top 5 guy, so I can't wait to see what he's going to do next. And John, get healthy. I just want to see you get healthy and see you compete again. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Mr. Mustache, MMA news out. Let's fucking go, fight fans. Where's my mouse?